What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine, and as always, we'll be breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career. We're coming to you live from Southern New Jersey. Sean Collingsgrew is my guest today. How are you doing, sir?
I don't know. Now I'm confused with that. Yes, we are in Southern New Jersey, and how southern it is. I don't know. You really threw me off there with that little intro, but hey, how you doing
Tried to catch
today?
you off guard.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am also doing well. We've got an exciting episode for you here today. We're gonna be talking about what it's like to be a sub. We had our first little experience with that, and it was kind of nice. Kind of nice.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that and some of the the details around that little project that we did as a sub. Are you building a business or a prison? This is going to be our other segment. Just talking about, obviously everyone gets into business. I want to say for freedom, more freedom, but it's more the illusion of freedom. It's carving your own path, being the master of your own destiny. But that is definitely part of it. You know, you are the master of your own destiny when you start your own business, but the freedom usually doesn't come for a while or ever. So we're going to talk about
That freedom don't come free.
that freedom don't come free. That's right. God, that's so true. I've never felt that more in my whole life. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. What kind of business are you building? And are you really building yourself a nice little prison, you know?
Really paints a picture. So
It really does. It's a little dramatic, but it's going to drive home the point. So I'm excited about that. What's new with you? What do you got going on?
gosh, so much. We had a fun little secret project that we were on this week, and I love a little change of pace. We can't talk about it. We are consecutively working on 2 secret projects,
Yeah.
and we will be talking about them at some point. I think that's like the most annoying thing ever when people are like, "I can't tell you yet," but I promise we will.
We can tell a little bit. So we are working on one kind of secret project that is our main project right now. We're going to be working on it for somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks. The other
Our
one,
main secret project. This is
the side secret project. We got the opportunity to do something with a TV show. We won't release a lot of details about it, but it was kind of a little TV show opportunity that we were happy to be a part of, and it was just a 3-day project, so a small project for us. A little bit of travel. It was in North Jersey, so almost about an hour and 40 minutes, 2 hours each way. A little bit of a drive, but only 3 days, and we were technically a subcontractor on this project, and it was kind of nice. It was kind of cool. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit. I mean, this was a little bit different because it was part of like a TV show, but it was really run like a regular job, minus the fact that people were filming. So it wasn't like a HD TV style where it's just all like drama and all that kind of stuff and everything's made up. It was just like a regular project. We were just building a regular project. It was a lot smaller than our typical project, but we were a subcontractor for the GC that was doing a bunch of other renovations at the house. It was kind of cool. It was kind of cool to not be the one that's in charge of everything. Right?
Yeah, we were kind of just in and out, and it felt like we had a lot less to worry about. We worked until the end of the day, and then we went home.
Yeah.
And it was kind of liberating.
It was a little bit liberating. I don't think for us it's going to be something that we want to like go down that route and seek to be a subcontractor for other people, but I could see how it'd be really nice for a lot of people. And maybe if you do find like the right situation or you partner up with the right company, it could be really nice. Cause all right, let's kind of break it down. Pros and cons, I guess. So number one, we didn't have to find the client. They found the client. They already had the client. They kinda already had the scope of the project, they had the budget, all of that kinda stuff, and then we just had to come in, provide a design, a little bit of back and forth with the client, but ultimately it was really through the GC that we, kind of mediated everything, and they had already hashed out the budget, all this kind of stuff, and kind of done the groundwork of setting the expectation that you're not going to be able to get everything that you want at this budget, and kind of tempered expectations. So we came in with a design, minimal back and forth because a lot of it was, me presenting it to the GC talking to the clients, and a couple changes here and there, and then it was done, and we were ready to go. And one of the nice things that we were able to do was part of it was a patio. Part of the project was a patio, and it was really tight access at this property. And one of the stipulations for doing the job was somebody else had to come in and pour a slab for us to do pavers over top of. So that was like, if we're going to be traveling 2 hours to do this project, we want to eliminate kind of like the most laborious part of this project. Have somebody else come in, pour us a base slab to do pavers over, and they did that. Made our lives so much easier. We didn't even have to worry about it. We didn't have to coordinate it. We didn't have to do anything with that. We just knew that when we get there, we're gonna be ready to go, start a screed bed, start laying pavers, and then do everything else that we're doing, and it just took a lot of the headache out of it. We also didn't have to worry about permits. We didn't have to
That
worry
is
about
nice.
there was a small deck landing that we built as part of this, and 2 footings for that. They dug the footings, they scheduled the inspection, so when we came in, all that stuff was done, we could just do it, finish it, no paperwork, no nothing. That was great.
Yeah,
No
that was
permit
nice.
paperwork? God. I wish we could get around that more.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should sub out that process for us,
The
but
paperwork process? Yeah, we really
yeah,
should. We really should figure out how to do that. That would be amazing. And I know there are
yeah.
services that will do that for you. I feel like with the
I feel
amount
like
of
it's such a weird thing to it's like it's not really hard. It's just so annoying.
it
It's
really
like
is. It's so annoying. It's like the worst.
the
And
annoyance
I
is
thought
just
this
not
was
worth it.
America. I thought we could do whatever we wanted at our own homes. But that's not the case apparently, because we live in some sort of
That's false.
authoritarian dictatorship where we gotta get permits for projects. Anyway, so what were I just named a couple of the perks, a couple of the pros there. What are some other things that you enjoyed about it that just made it so easy?
Uh, wasn't our fault.
You can
Other
place
people to
blame somewhere
blame.
else, yeah. Other people to blame, that's a nice thing to fall back on, absolutely. Yeah, and essentially, you're not the homeowner is not your client. It's your client
Yeah, the
is the
GC is your
GC.
client. Yeah.
So they already and this could obviously go so many different ways depending on who the GC is, but normally they have an understanding of how these things work, how
Yeah.
a project's supposed to go, like what the expectations are. So you don't have to like set that groundwork to a client that this might be their first time doing a project like this. They're going to set that groundwork, set those expectations with the client, and then we are just communicating with the GC, and they already know how to do this dance. They already know this. It's like Dancing with the Stars, but both people are professional dancers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not one of
That does
them
make
is
it
like a C-list celebrity. They have to teach how to do the salsa. We don't have time for that. We don't. So
it's also nice to just have somebody to converse with that, like, does get it. Like, homeowners don't really get it, but because, like, our client now is a GC, it's just, like, somebody who gets it.
yeah, we can
It is
just
just a nice,
we
like,
just
shift in
rap with
dynamic.
them like
I could see how that could also go the opposite and be like this GC is great and he knows a lot and he's a friend of ours and great guy. It could go differently if that person is like not great. You could be like dealing with somebody who thinks they know what they're talking about, relationships sour, etc. But in this case, it was great.
yeah, and that does, go back to the biggest thing here is who is the GC? What's that relationship like? Because If
Yeah.
that person sucks, being a sub is gonna suck. But if that person's awesome, it's great.
Yeah.
My favorite thing my favorite thing about the whole thing, we had not like a whole lot of trash that we, generated, but pretty good amount of trash, and I was like,
Heavy trash.
some heavy trash, and we had driven a pretty far way to get up there. We weren't gonna be able to fit all the trash and all of our tools on the last day, so I was like, what do you want us to do with this trash?" And he was like, "Just leave it here, GC takes care of that."
Yeah, that
Said,
was nice.
"What? I love this. I love this. This is awesome."
Yeah, that was nice.
So it's that was my first time ever being a subcontractor, and it was pretty great. Maybe just because it's such a change of pace from our normal day to day to
Yeah.
be a subcontractor plus work on this small job that 3 days we were in and out. Maybe that's what really made the experience so nice, but it did open my eyes to kind of that possibility. And maybe we should hire more subs from time to time. We could be that GC that people love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if it's changed your perspective at all about how we treat our subs. We really only have, like,
We
2
we
that
are
we
so hard on them.
consistently
We
work
beat
with.
them. We're so hard on them. Yeah. Set up booby traps for them.
Yeah.
Just make fun of them. Really just get after them. I mean, we've used more and less subs from time to time. We've experimented with subbing some things out, which can be nice. Ultimately, we tend to not have as many subs, but I can really see kind of the benefit of if you are trying to scale volume wise to utilize subcontractors because it's the opposite of the experience that we just had that they know what the expectation is. They are a master of their own destiny because it is their own company. You're not paying them by the hour. They have ownership over what they're doing. It's I can see why a lot of people go that route because it's kind of simple. And if it doesn't work out
Yeah,
with
for
one
sure.
sub, you find a different one, and you work towards that relationship. You might date a couple subcontractors, but then you find the ones that you want to marry. You know what I mean?
It's really important to date around, figure mostly yourself out, but also them.
Yeah,
You gotta dance the dance. That is important
exactly.
before you
So
settle down.
absolutely. So that was our little dance as a subcontractor, and it was really cool. And like we said, it was part of like this TV show opportunity thing, which was also cool to be a part of. And obviously we're filming a lot of content on our projects, but it's very 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 different. They got like a sound guy with a microphone and a
Yeah.
little board and all kinds of stuff. So it was some high tech stuff, very different from the kind of content we shoot.
That
Makes
poor
us
microphone guy, he was
ah
hot and sweaty and he had to put on our microphones. That poor man. He was a trooper.
yeah, great guy though, great crew. It was fun.
It
It was a
was. It was
fun
really
thing to be a
fun.
part
It
of.
was
It
fun.
was a cool
It
thing
really
to be a
was.
part of. So maybe an opportunity will present itself again, and we'll do it again because it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Oh, but it's good to be back to regular jobs. Another secret project, but uh, it's getting insane. This is getting insane.
It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I hate this because it just makes it seem like we're not working, and now like we're like, no, trust me, like we're not like out of business. We're just working on secret projects right now, which it sounds
We
insane,
definitely
but
still have jobs. It's fine.
we do, we totally do. But the project that we're working on is going to be really cool. I'm really excited when we can finally bring it forward to you all and the world. Enough on that for now. Let's talk about building your own prison, aka a business. And I'll start. I'll start here. So, God, if it doesn't feel like a prison sometimes when you got your own business. Sometimes, you feel free as a bird. You feel free as a bird and you feel like king of the world. You feel like you
Yeah.
got everything just working out so good. You feel like You're really, really just hitting your groove, you're hitting your stride. Everything is just ice cream and rainbows. And then other times, for no apparent reason, everything could be going very much the same as when you felt like you were on top of the world and you were, Warren Buffett or Mark Cuban, just killing it as a business person. You feel like you don't know anything. You feel like you don't know anything. You have no time. You're just perpetually behind on everything, and you're just overcome with this feeling of, oh my god, how why is all this stuff my responsibility? Why did I put this on myself? Why did I think this was a good idea? I feel like I'm in prison. How do I break out of this prison of my own creation? So I do vacillate between those two things. I don't want to say very often. There's there's highs and lows as a business owner, and probably my biggest struggle is just feeling like going through these periods where I feel like, how am I in charge of what's supposed to be going on right now? I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like an idiot. I'm just like overwhelmed. I'm falling behind on so many things. It's so easy to think of all the things that you should be doing that like would improve the business. It's easy to think like 50 of those things, but it's hard to execute on all those things. So sometimes I'm overcome with all the things that, wow, we're not doing, that I'm not doing as a leader, that, you know, we haven't implemented into the business. And I think that's probably relatively normal. I'm sure some of you that are listening are like, yeah, damn, I feel that to varying degrees, I'd imagine. But that's probably my biggest struggle is just feeling like I started this business for freedom, to do what I want, to carve my own path, and now that path is carving me into a little tiny figurine, a wooden doll that might be a voodoo doll. I don't know, but that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'm at that place sometimes. Um, if you could tell, I'm feeling a little bit like that right now, and I think you're being sarcastic, but I think it's pretty normal, is what I'm gonna say. I think it's pretty normal, and I think if anything, it's probably a positive that I can be aware of this, that it can be at the forefront of my mind, and I can be aware that I'm feeling this way, and that it is of my own creation, I guess. Maybe that's a
Yeah.
positive. I've only got me to blame. I'm the master of my own destiny, and I've built myself a prison, it feels like sometimes. Um, enough of that. Off of my that's not really a soapbox, that's more like a sad box, but anyway, let's talk about some ways that when you're feeling like that you can kind of break out of that mindset and actually you do some actionable things to reformat the business in a way that you can get some more of that freedom back. So, what do you got for us? What do you got for us?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's very important to just be aware of shifting this mindset because cyclical emotions are normal and expected. And if you were just riding some sort of business high for your entire life, that would mean either A, you're not growing because you're not feeling any sort of pressure, you're just existing in some sort of happy la la land, or B, you're just incredibly delusional and not in like the healthy, happy kind of way, just kind of like literally delusional.
Yeah.
So I think it's shifting your mindset into knowing, like you said, like being aware of it is helpful and knowing that just because you're feeling stressed or you're feeling burnt out or you're feeling whatever emotion, it doesn't mean that it's like not natural or it's time to give up or you're not built for this or you can't handle this. It's just identifying it as like, I am going through a natural human emotion. I am human, just like every other human goes through emotions. I am going through something. And whether you choose to rise to the occasion and push forward or give up and implode is up to you.
That's a great Great way to put it. I am not going to give up and implode. I promise you that. And
Yeah.
I think
Well, like, think about it. Like, how many times out of all of the times that you have felt stressed in business, how many times have you actually given thought to, like, giving up? Like,
never.
more so than just, like, surface, like, "Oh god, I can't do this." Like, have you ever actually thought, like, "I literally cannot do this anymore. I am going to get rid of this business." Has that ever happened to you?
No. Just because, not because that doesn't, at times feel tempting, but I just know that I would be such a terrible employee. I wouldn't be. Nobody would
So you
enjoy.
really are in your own prison just in a for a different reason.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I just no. So I see your point there, and I think that is something that's important to talk about. That you can feel like this, and you can still be steadfast that you're not going to give up, and you're going to continue on, and that cyclical emotion is totally normal and par for the course. And I think the thing that can vary between different people is what those cycles look like and how you can kind of use them a little bit to your your advantage, or just being mindful of them. Some people that might have less up and down, they might have like, just be more steady every single day. Like, I'm just going to like plod away. They might make less progress on a day-to-day basis. You know, they might, um, it's like the tortoise and the hare. They're just, slow and steady. And that's their personality type. That's their, kind of emotional personality or
Mhm.
emotional trait. There's other people like me. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but I go through more robust cycles of emotion and motivation and enthusiasm. And I think that it's always been like that for me. It's always been like that. And I think I've just learned to ride it and make the most of it. So it's like, I go through these periods where I'm like so amped up about like something usually like very specific. I get hyper fixated on something like, say, the possibilities of AI in business. And when I'm in that mode, you can't tell me that, you know, I might be seeming a little bit manic, or, I'm doing that thing again where I'm hyper fixated on whatever. But through that, we can make these like big jumps of progress, like we did, with that kind of segue into my hyperfixation on AI. We started talking about improving the client experience, and we got all of these things done in such a short amount of time because we just like had the energy behind it. Okay, okay, okay. I see you looking at me like we did. All right, you did, but it's because I wouldn't give up and I wouldn't stop annoying you about it. We're a team here. Jesus, there's no I in team. We did it all together.
Kidding, I'm just
You
kidding. It
just
was a
did
team effort.
most of the work. But
No, it was a team effort.
but was I not a driving force of motivation behind getting this initiative started?
You sure were.
Thank
You
you. Thank
definitely
you.
were.
So, I think that you can be aware of how you work in that capacity. Like, I think my go-to is to like sprint and then kind of like walk for a while, and then sprint and walk for a while, and like kind of catch my breath in between. And sometimes it feels like, you can go through those periods where you just feel like you've taken on too much, or you don't have the skill set to be the one that's everybody's leader, or you know or you're just not doing enough as a business owner to build this great business. You know what I mean? Anything else? You're like
No, I
you're
think
like,
I think
"Why
you're
why the hell do I work here?"
No, I mean, I am not a business owner, so I can't fully relate to all of these feelings that you have. I just get to watch you ride all of these emotions and then analyze. So
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, okay, so I think that is I just want one of my goals here is to be open about this stuff, because I think a lot of people feel like this, and the only people it seems that are very open about how they're feeling or what they're doing are like the people that are like, you gotta just
Don't sleep, just do
yeah,
business,
after it.
always be closing,
Yeah. Like just like
and
that.
also
Like,
bench pressing.
yeah, just be bench pressing while you're closing clients and you're, whatever. And that works for some people, for sure. It's their thing, some people need that at a certain point of their life where, like, they just need to be, like, all in on some, like, path of somebody else's creation. But I think for most people, you go through highs and lows and you feel like, "Wow, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I got to this point where, um, there's a lot of things that are going really well. We've done a lot of really cool things. We've built, what a lot of people think is a very successful business, but you can still look at it and just be like, now I can just see all the things that I should be doing better, that, we should have systems in place for like this specific thing or that thing, or, it took us forever to get like a vacation policy or PTO or all of that kind of stuff, that it's just like, you can start fixating on all the things that you should be doing or you should have already done, and you can it can lead you to feel like, I'm not cut out for this. Like, I'm not the person that should be in charge here. I don't know. I should be at daycare or something, like a child. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people feel like that from time to time, and I think it's important to normalize that and know that it's okay to feel like that. It's okay to feel
Yeah,
like that. I think everyone feels like that at a certain point, and
yeah,
even the more successful that you get, I think you're kind of prone to feel like that even more, because it's like, you're still just this regular person. So like the more success you get, the more you feel like, why? Like, how did this happen? I'm not smart enough to do any of this stuff. What's going on? You can start doubting yourself, have that imposter syndrome. So I just think it's
yeah,
important to kind of talk about it. And when you're
it
feeling
is,
like
and
that,
it's oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, 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 no. You go.
I was gonna say, when you are feeling like that, it's, like, such a great resource to reach out to other business owners and talk about these kinds of things.
Exactly.
You know, we are going to Deck Expo next month, and I feel like that's a great opportunity, like, in our industry, for business owners to kinda get together and talk about it. And I've said it 1,000 times before, but anytime you're at these events, people are like, "Oh, yeah, I was having crazy panic attacks," and they're like, "Oh, yeah, me too," and it's just
Yeah.
like it's a way to feel some sort of, not a misery loves company situation, but more of just like a camaraderie situation where
Yeah.
it's just helpful to talk to people who are going through similar things. And you don't have to be like Mr. Macho Man who holds all their emotions in until they pop. It's okay to talk about your feelings.
Yeah.
And you might get some helpful tips out of it. Something that might have helped somebody else might help you too.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think the biggest thing is just knowing, like, normalizing that you're gonna go through these periods where you just feel like you're not living up to what you should be doing, or, you're focusing too much on the things that you haven't done yet, or that might be areas that need work within the business or yourself, and you kinda lose focus on all the things that you've done up to this point that are amazing, that other people wish
Mhm.
that they were doing, that, you just kind of take for granted. So one of the things that I want to get back into doing, because I've been reflecting on, this kind of feeling, and I think I haven't been conscious enough of all the good things that are going on. You can get swept up in stress and, just being overwhelmed and overworked and uh under rested, because you got a kid waking up in the middle of the night and all that kind of stuff. So one thing that I want to get back into doing, because of all of this, is journaling. Getting back into
Yeah.
doing journaling in the morning, and part of that, what I've done in the past is, um, start off with some gratitude. Like, here's something that I'm grateful for, and I try to just come up with something that's kind of mundane, like something that's just very regular that you wouldn't normally think of to be grateful for. Like,
Yeah.
I just thought of one right now. I've got a fridge inside the house that makes ice. It's awesome. Growing up, I always wanted an ice maker. We never had one. You had to freeze the little ice cube trays, put them in the freezer. It was like, and nobody would fill them back up. And then you got no cold drinks. You got no cold drinks. And luckily, I've got an ice maker in my fridge, and it's got this pitcher that refills itself with ice cold water.
It
That's
is a
great.
nice system, yeah.
It's a nice system. It's a nice system, and start to take it for granted. But that's something that I can be grateful for right now, and there's a million things like that. So that's one thing that I'm gonna work on re-implementing into my life to kind of keep some of these feelings at bay, or maybe even bring them closer. Just be more in touch with them. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what do you got? What do you got for us? You've got a front row seat to a lot of this stuff.
Yes.
I will never ever say this again, but a lot of times when I get in these high, like, you know, kind of manic hyperfixation, like I'm really excited about something, you tend to call that out.
Yeah.
Or when I am like stressed, and it usually happens around very predictable things like the end of a job or the start of a job, where they
Mhm.
overlap. You're very in tune to that. You can point these things out. Anytime you do, I say, "What are you talking about? No, I'm not stressed," or "I'm not being manic. This is the new me, and this is just how I am." But you are very in tune with that, just because we're around each other a lot. These cycles I go through are very predictable, I guess. And you're
Uh,
usually one for good practical advice. So what do you got for me? What do you got for me? What do you got for me?
say like the one
I'm
the
probably not gonna heed this advice, but go ahead.
this is like the simplest, most effective, but most often overlooked advice is when you feel like you have 1,000 things to do and you're just running like a chicken with your head cut off and you don't know where to start and everything feels so overwhelming. The most simple and most effective thing you can do is make a list and check things off one at a time. Just take one bite at a time. You're going to write everything down. It's out of your brain onto a piece of paper. You've outsourced your brain. You're like, okay, great. It's all out there. I know exactly what I need to do. Suddenly you feel better because you're like, oh, now that I'm seeing it, it feels a lot less overwhelming than when I'm just rattling things around in my brain. And then you're going to check something off and you're going to be like, it's a little hit of dopamine. That feels good. Next, keep going. And you just do one thing at a time. Just say, I'm not going to focus on anything else until I do this one thing. I got to finish this one thing. Then I can check it off and move it to the next thing. And it is like the most simple but most effective way to just clear all that craziness out of your brain and actually not focus on trying to complete 4 different things at once, getting pulled into a million directions, starting things and not finishing them and then forgetting about them. It's the most simple, easy way to just get things done, especially like just if you're thinking about like a day time frame or even like a week, but just like a day. Okay, I have so many things to do. Where do I start? You start by making a list.
Yeah, that's something that I've always identified as something that helps me, but is so easy like when you're feeling that like overwhelming when you need it the most. It's the hardest piece of advice or technique to remember to do. It's like
It truly is.
now I have to add to my list to make a list. Like I have too many things already. Now I have to make a list about the things. So
I know. But every single time that I have told you to do that, like when you're like, I have so many things to do, and then you write it down, you're like, oh,
I only have like 4 things to do.
that's not that many things to do.
Yeah.
Okay. I
The
feel
other
immediately
things are,
better.
like,
So,
things that are, like, maybe a month away or, like, just like, "Hey, I actually don't need to worry about this at the moment.
yeah.
Here are the things I need to do today, and
Yeah.
let's tackle these things." So, you're absolutely right. Making a list, checking it twice, you know,
Doing one thing at a time.
doing one thing at a time.
Slow, steady, focused attention
Yeah, I was
gets
going more
things
like
done.
the Saint Nick. He's making a list, he's checking it twice. Na, 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 naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah, that's the song. He knew. He knew the importance of a list. He couldn't remember all that stuff, and I'm sure you know what?
And he still does because he's very real and he's going to come this Christmas as he always does and has.
I know, and I've been pretty good this year, so hoping for something big,
Fingers
Santa.
crossed.
Fingers crossed. I think that is obviously a super, super effective technique to get these things out of your head to also, like, when you're feeling that overwhelming feeling, you're kind of in, like, a different headspace, and you're not in, like, the now. Like, you're not in the moment. You're not in the present at that time. You're just kind of, like, in yourself and not, like, in your body and in the moment. So,
Yeah.
I have found that to be really helpful to just, like, you know, if you make a list and you start tackling these things, it is you're out of your head. Are you raising your hand?
You have something else to say. Finish your thought.
Okay. There's no one else here. You don't have to raise your hand. It's just me and you. Just that action of making the list and focusing on that first task that you put on there, that gets you out of the headspace of thinking, "Oh my god, there's too much to do," or, you just give your brain something else to focus on. You shift your attention from, "My god, I can't handle all this stuff," to this first task. Just do that, and automatically your brain is not thinking about, "Oh my god, I can't handle all this stuff going on." It's just, "Okay, let me do this one task." So,
Mhm.
great piece of advice. Great piece of
Yeah.
advice.
And to build on top of that, if you do get in the habit of building these lists and just kind of keeping it simple, just, outsourcing the information from your brain to a piece of paper, and you can see on a list all these things that you have to do, you can kind of identify patterns of like what needs to get done and what are like pain points and what you think might be able to be outsourced to a different thing. So if you're like, I have these invoices I need to send out every month and I keep forgetting them, what can I do about that? Put them on a calendar or schedule them in some kind of way, or it makes identifying patterns really easy, so it's not
Yeah,
just those one-off tasks. You don't want to forget about them, so you have them on your list, but also it makes it very easy to kind of say like, okay, I know that I keep having to do this one thing, like what can I do to make my life a little bit simpler with this task? Is there a way that I can do I need to hire somebody for this? Do I need to you know use AI or whatever to fix my life? Like,
definitely. Definitely.
it makes it much easier to identify patterns when you see it written down and you physically write it down every week rather than it just kind of rattling around in your brain like, okay, I vaguely know I need to do this at some point this week,
Yeah.
if that
Uh,
makes sense.
Absolutely, and I spend a lot of time doing that, and, I saw a meme about, ADHD, and it was like, ADHD people have, like, I forget exactly how it was worded, but it was like, live every day like, you know, eventually, like, people are gonna find out that you're n and everyone's gonna be mad at you. Like, you're just waiting for, like, a million things that you're supposed to do that you forgot about, and now everyone's mad at you. And that's kinda what I feel like sometimes. Sometimes that overwhelming feeling is like, it's not even, like, a whole bunch of things that I need to do. It's like, because I haven't, like, written these things down or put them on a list, which I'm working on. I'm getting much better at that, but, once you put them down on the list, you get out of your head of, like, I feel like there's a million things to do, and you're, like, mentally juggling the 4 or 5 things, and you're like, "Maybe there's 10 things that I need to do." You start writing them down, and it's like, "No, it's only these 4 things. I'm good. I can handle these things. I can move on. I can go on with my life and stop worrying about everyone, eventually being mad at me because I
Yes.
dropped the ball on something." Oh, I didn't. You know what? I didn't know the episode was gonna go like this, but I think I think it's important. I'm human. I'm human. God damn it. I'm not
After all
fully
is said and done, you're just a
yet.
human.
I'm just a old sack of skin. Just whatever. Anyway, um, another thing that I'm realizing through this conversation is, I think I might be feeling like overwhelmed a little bit 'cause I got this new kid.
You're just realizing that
I think I'm
now.
just putting it all together. Like, she's 10 weeks old today, so it
Happy
kind of
10-week
feel
birthday.
like in a way it feels like it's been 10 weeks. We got this figured out now. Like now it's get on with our life, Like, come on. Now we got it in, we got the rhythm, we got the stuff figured out, but it's not like that yet. It's not it's not like that. It probably won't be for quite a while. So, I'm really putting it all together here. I think this huge life change is making other things like a little bit more complicated. It's harder to know exactly what I'm gonna have time for at night or in the morning sometimes. So that's probably playing a part in this. So, and that's normal. That's normal. So anyway, all right.
Life do be lifin'.
Life be life, and that is true. That is true. Life be life into you. So, you can let life happen to you or you can happen to life.
Exactly.
That's what I always say. So, anyway, not to be I feel like I've been a downer here. I don't want to come across as a downer, but
Everything sucks and everything's hard.
everything sucks and I am the worst. And no, I just, I think it sucks to feel like that, but I think in all it's part of a healthy mental space to go through these
Gotta have
times.
the lows to appreciate the highs.
Exactly. And I think the most important part of it is just like being cognizant of it happening so that you can identify it and know that this is something that, this is kind of my cycle. I go through feeling like I can take on anything and nobody can tell me what to do and I'm going to prove everybody wrong. And then other times, hit a little bit of a trough and I'm like, what have I got myself into? I've taken on too much. I can't handle all this. I'm not capable. But then I hit that high again and I'm like, I can do anything because I'm not going to give up. And even in the lows, I'm not going to give up. And that is the moral of the story. So if you're feeling that way, don't be hard on yourself. Just be aware of it and give yourself a little bit of grace. Give yourself an internal hug and keep on going. Keep on keeping on. Yeah. Okay, you're done. You're done listening to me and my sad
Playing
sack
you off.
self. So let's
do
kick it
something
up
more
a notch.
fun.
Our working happy hour trivia. I am going to completely decimate you this week. So
We will see about that. All right, you want to go first?
yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
You're not ready to go first.
I'm ready to go. But I'm also realizing, how come I'm always the one that's just like getting all vulnerable on this podcast? You're making me feel even worse. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about because I have my life all figured out. And everything's fine.
No, I'm
to
just,
me.
if I to say how hard it is to be a business owner, that is inauthentic because I'm not a business owner.
Yeah, but just,
You know?
life.
Should I get vulnerable about something else?
You don't have to, no. Yeah, you know what? You should. And since I'm putting you on the spot, you can just make something up for now. All right. Anyway, it's trivia time. Let's get after it. You want me to ask first?
Yeah, go ahead.
True or false? The Phillips head screw was named after its original inventor, a man named Henry Phillips.
I don't know what else a Phillip could be. I'll go true. Sounds.
Oh, you're wrong. It is actually false. But it was, I don't want to say a trick question, but it had the makings of a trick question because Henry Phillips, it was named after him, but he was not the original inventor. He actually bought the patent from an inventor named John P. Thompson. And Thompson struggled to convince manufacturers of the value of his self-centering screw design, but Phillips refined it and successfully marketed it to General Motors for their 1936 Cadillac assembly lines, where it dramatically sped up production. So
I feel like that is a true.
it's not. You got it wrong.
Now,
Live
I feel
with
like
it.
that is a trick question, and that's dumb. Oh.
See, this is why I'm overwhelmed. Nobody can take accountability around me. I'm always full. All right.
Okay.
You got it wrong. So, yeah, hit me.
In the world of roofing, the term square is a standard unit of measurement for ordering materials and quoting jobs.
Yes.
The area count that is one roofing square covers 50 square feet. True or false?
False. It's 100 square feet. Am I done? That is like the most basic question ever. Come on.
I know. Hey, man.
Hey, man. Hey, man. That was too easy. That was too easy.
Hey, man, we're running out of questions. We're
not running out of questions. We're not running out of questions. Don't you dare say that. There's so many more questions to ask. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, my turn. All right, next question. This is a good one. I didn't know this. One. On a standard roll of electrical tape, what does the UL listing signify? You ever seen that? UL listed? It's on electrical stuff. Have you seen that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that UL listing
I feel like that's
signify?
on light bulbs. Isn't it on light
It's
bulbs?
on a lot of
Like the
electrical
top of
stuff.
light bulbs? Okay.
It's on a lot of
Alright.
electrical stuff. UL listed. What does it signify? Does it signify that the tape is ultra low resistance? The tape is rated for underground linkage? The tape has been tested for safety standards by underwriters' laboratories? Or D, the tape's adhesive is an uncured liquid?
I feel like it's not uncured liquid because I feel like it's on the top of light bulbs, and that wouldn't really make sense. What were the other ones? You something
Basically,
laboratories?
ultra low resistance, rated for underground linkage, or it's been tested by underwriters' laboratories.
I'm gonna go with C because I feel like that's the only thing that would make sense for it to also be on the top of light bulbs.
You're right. You're absolutely right, and I can't believe it because I thought that one sounded crazy. There's underwriters' laboratories. Yeah, that is the answer. And Underwriters Laboratories (UL) is a global safety certification company. A UL listing on a product like electrical tape means it has been independently tested and meets specific safety and performance standards for its intended use, giving professionals confidence in its reliability.
I
Sounds
feel like
like a
that's on
racket.
so much stuff that company probably makes a ton of
I
money.
know, and it's just like so
Such a
random.
vague, random
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
it's like it feels like the Better Business Bureau. It's like they don't do
Yeah.
anything, and it's like I mean nobody really like pays for that anymore, but they used to. So I think they're kind of on their way out.
Yeah. The internet kind of. You don't really need that anymore.
Nope.
Use Google stuff. Okay, in the standard U.S. residential wiring, which color insulation typically indicates the hot wire that carries the electrical current from the breaker panel to the outlet? A. White. B. Green. C. Black. D. Blue.
Okay, so
Hot
I
wire.
hot wire. I don't know anything about electrical besides that when it's UL listed, it means it's from Underwriters Laboratories. Okay, so inside a standard wire, there is black, white, and a ground or copper. So I'm gonna go. The hot's got to be the black. The hot's got to be the black.
The hot is the black.
That's
That
the
is
black.
correct.
All right. I
Correct.
told you I
Correct.
was gonna kick your ass today. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. All right. All
We'll
right.
see
All
how you
right.
do on my last question because I like it's funny.
What did you say?
All right, keep going. So we'll see how you do on my last question because I like it and it's funny.
Okay. Wait, is it my turn to ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay. Here it is. All right. What is the two-word term for the modern building practice of creating an intentional ventilated air gap behind siding to provide drainage and accelerate drying, preventing moisture damage to the sheathing?
Airlock.
No.
Moisture gap.
No.
I don't understand. What is the question again?
I don't know why you said that so I mean, I shouldn't even. I'll give you another. Okay, what is the two-word term for the modern building practice of creating an intentional ventilated air gap behind the siding to provide drainage, accelerate drying, and prevent moisture damage to the sheathing?
What's the name of the practice?
Yes, the practice, or you can a product could go by this under this category as well. We really need a music bed for this segment.
Underlayment? I don't know. I guess I don't understand what
Just say you
like
don't know the answer.
Tyvek?
You don't
I don't
have
know.
to say
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I don't know.
rain screen.
Rain screen.
A
Okay.
rain screen. A rain screen system is now considered best practice for wall assemblies, especially with modern, less permeable house wraps. The air gap allows any
Like the
water.
Benjamin Obadike, whatever that like bumpy wall stuff. Okay.
Exactly. It
All right. All right.
creates airflow. If water does get behind it, there is a gap so water does not get trapped. And yeah, you're exactly right with that Benjamin Obadike. Speaking of them, I don't know if that's a good name for a company or a bad name for a company.
I mean, it definitely goes with like the Sherwin Williams kind of thing, where no one knows like which is the right
Way to say it.
because it's just yeah.
That's a good point. But,
So
like,
in that way, it kind of
Benjamin
makes it
Obadiah.
memorable.
Yeah, exactly. Like, maybe it's because it's so hard, like, what? What is this? Maybe that is what makes it memorable, makes it a great name. I don't know, I'm split on it, but, I think they got some that thing's called HydroGap is that product.
Hydro Gap, yeah, that's what that
Hey,
is.
look at us,
Okay.
look at them getting some free shine here from us. Benjamin, give me a call. You owe me some money. Anyway, all right, what do you got for me? Last one, I've already won, so it doesn't even matter, but I did
True, you have.
say I
You have
would
already won.
decimate
This
you,
is a
and I
this is a
need
fun one though.
okay,
You
okay.
ready?
Yes, I am.
I don't know if you're gonna get it. Commonly seen on Gothic cathedrals like Notre Dame. What is the name for the specific type of arched exterior support that transfers weight from the high walls out to a pier, allowing for thinner walls and massive stained glass windows?
Mm, first of all,
Do you understand the
it's Notre
question?
Dame. Yeah, I feel like I know what this is. It's like not like a word we would use anymore. It's like ugh. The only thing that's coming to mind is a flying buttress, but it's
That
not
is
that.
exactly correct.
Is it really? No way. What? Oh
Great
my
job.
god. A flying buttress to the
Yeah.
face to win
I
this
could have
one.
let you get that. You were already going to win, so I corrected you and said that is what it is. But I could have let you get that one wrong. But you did a great job
Well,
with your initial instinct.
I don't think I was gonna come up with anything else, so I probably would have just said, "Alright, a flying buttress." What a pull, I don't know where that came from.
Amazing.
Oh
The
my
depths of your brain.
god.
It came right out. This architectural innovation was a revolutionary engineering leap. By countering the immense outward pressure from the roof vaults, the flying buttress essentially props up the walls from the outside. This freed architects from needing thick, solid walls and allowed them to create the soaring, light filled interiors that define the Gothic style.
Beautiful,
The
beautiful.
flying buttress. Great win,
If I
Sean. Great
ever become
job.
a professional wrestler, that's gonna be, like, my finisher move.
The flying
"Here
buttress.
he comes with the flying buttress." Anyway, alright, well, that's it for this week. You know, I when we
You already wrapped it up when you got emotional a second
why
ago.
are you
So
keep shutting me down and telling me to shut up? But I think that maybe that is important as well to know when to just shut it and keep it moving. But you know, just keep on keeping on. That's the moral of the story here. Keep on
keep
keeping on,
on
keep
keeping
it
on.
moving, and learn to
Surround yourself with people that are going to encourage you and also tell you when to shut up.
good point, yeah. Or surround yourself with a bunch of haters that you got to prove wrong. I love that energy. I need that energy a little bit.
Whatever motivates you more.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's it for this
Sorry, you
week.
can ramble. I was just
You
kidding
cut
that
me
second
off
time.
and
You can
kind
keep
of
going.
messed with my flow that I was
You can
going
keep
into,
going.
but it's fine. Moral of the story here, just keep on keeping on, and if you can, in a weird way, learn to enjoy the moments of stress and overwhelm and be grateful for it. Because you have a lot of things going on. You have a lot of things on your plate. You have a lot of people that count on you. That's a privilege. It's a privilege to be in that position. So learn to embrace it and in a weird way, enjoy it because it's because of a lot of hard work that you're feeling overwhelmed. People that don't do anything, that have nothing going on, don't have a lot of things to make them feel overwhelmed. So being overwhelmed in a way is a privilege. Embrace it, learn from it, and keep on keeping on, keep it moving.
Amen.
Yeah, and you were about to cut that off, and that was my sermon for this week. And thank you all so much. See, the audience thinks that was great. The audience agrees with me. All right, that's it for this week. Till next time, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
See you next week.